everybody. Welcome back to Home Groups. We are glad to be meeting again. As usual, a couple of groups are in shifted around locations. Hope you're all blessed, even if the environment's a little unfamiliar. God bless you guys. We are going to get into 3 more Psalms today. Psalm 27, Psalm 25, and Psalm 130. My thought today is that the way into these 3 Psalms, the things that we'll see sort of tie them together, are 4 themes. The theme of facing enemies in public shame, the theme of forgiveness from God, not forgiving other people so much, but seeking and receiving God's forgiveness. The theme of waiting on God, that's a big theme, on thee I wait all the day long, that sort of a thing here in these Psalms. And then the theme of being taught by God. These 3 Psalms hit those themes in different ways, in ways that inform each other. Again, one of the great ways to learn is to see things that are similar in different passages of Scripture and then sort of combine them and see the differences, and you see things from different angles. But those themes weave together in really interesting ways. And so towards the end of the sheet of questions that I gave to your leaders, I ask about how those themes weave together. For instance, how does the themes of finding forgiveness and not experiencing shame towards God connect to having enemies and shame towards people? How does my sense of forgiveness and connection to God impact the way I deal with difficulty socially, right? And then how does the theme of waiting on God weave together with and impact the idea of being taught by God? And then how do you take, if you weave shame and enemies, forgiveness and shame from people together, and you have one chord there, and waiting on God and being taught by God, you have one chord there. Can you weave those 2 things together? Can you weave all 4? I think you can, in interesting, helpful ways. Weave all 4 of these themes together of being connected to God without shame, therefore handling shame from people, waiting on the Lord, and being taught by God. And so in the mix of, you'll see in these Psalms, there's difficulty. There's almost a sense of like pleading with the Lord, like, please, Lord, don't remember my sins. Yet a lot of closeness with God, and then a request to be taught by God, and a willingness to wait on God. And, they're all woven together, and this is just 3 Psalms, and these things are just sort of there all side by side. And so I just want to get into discussing those together, thinking about obviously our own lives. And, one of the great things about the Bible is that it never needs to separate sort of a deep personal spiritual connection with God and the practical living out on a daily life. Those things are together in the Bible, and they inform each other. They're not pulled apart. It's not that what happens between me and God is so separate than what happens between me and, say, my coworkers or my fellow students at school or something like that. Nope, these things are woven together, and they absolutely impact and influence each other. So Psalm 27, Psalm 25, Psalm 130, discuss it, pray for each other, ask the Lord to be with you in your gatherings, and He will. And our plan, Lord willing, is to be back together in large group for something Christmassy next week on the 20, I guess it would be the 21st, right? The 21st. So, and then of course, plan on being off, having no official, at least, young adults gathering on the 28th. And then we're planning on being back at Home Groups on the first Monday in the New Year, which I think is January 4th. Is that January 4th? Sam is pulling up the 4th. So, sorry, I'm talking to Sama off screen here. So, God bless you guys, and enjoy your groups, and have a great time discussing these Psalms.